Hi Laker fans, I'm Jennifer Tracer and you're watching Laker Zone. Hello Laker fans, joining me today is Coach Dennis Cox of the women's basketball team, who was recently just named Peach Belt Conference Coach of the Year. Congratulations Coach Cox and welcome.
Thank you, Jen. It's good to be with you guys again. And thanks for the congratulations. I'm humbled by that and real appreciative of it. Thank you.
Now, it seems like, gosh, every time I talk to you, your girls are just accomplishing more and more. You have 3 girls that just made the Peach Belt All-Conference team. Tanisha Woodard was just named Defensive Player of the Year and our very own Laker Zone Player of the Week. Tell me about that. Your girls are just amazing.
Yeah, I'm real happy for them. I think this might be, if I'm not mistaken, it might be the first time we've placed 3 on the all-conference team, and we're real proud of that, and they deserve it. I mean, it's about time. A lot of times we don't get a lot of individual recognition because we're so balanced in our scoring, so our stats aren't. We play a lot of players, so our players don't play a lot of minutes, so sometimes their stats aren't, they don't look that impressive.
I mean, really, they are more impressive than what they get credit for.
Yeah, I think so, and so it's nice this year, and I really appreciate the league coaches for honoring those kids and appreciating their value to us and what we've been able to do here, and again we have some great coaches in the Peach Belt. For them to honor me with Coach of the Year is, like I said, is very humbling, and I really appreciate it.
Now, your rankings have been all over the place. You've gone from number 1 to number 3 in this ESPN Top 25 Coaches poll. What do those rankings mean to you, if anything?
Well, the national poll really doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, it's good for our sport that we get that recognition, and that we're sponsored by ESPN and the WBCA, and so it's very flattering when you're mentioned in that poll. I'm actually on the national poll committee, so I follow it very closely, and we take it very seriously. And to be mentioned in the same breath with some of the great programs in the country is just very flattering. And we've been up and down. We took an early loss. We started preseason ranked number 1.
Now, do you think that loss had anything to do? Did it help you not feel like you were such on kind of a pedestal, but it helped kind of take that edge off, just made your team feel a little bit easier to play, or did that not help?
It's funny. I tell you, my senior captains, Brittany and Tanisha, came to me after that game and said, "Coach, man, it really, we hated that we lost and it hurt, but we kind of feel less pressure now that it's over, because we were really playing tight beginning of the year, and it seemed like the games were pressure packed, like playoff games, and we were just starting our season, still trying to find our way and figure out who our team was, and because it is a completely different team from last year, so that did take some of the pressure off of us, and we were able to settle down then, I think, and start growing as a team, and we stumbled again later against Lander, but we learned some lessons there as well, and since then I've been playing pretty good basketball.
Now, speaking of pressure that you were talking about earlier, postseason starts tomorrow, today actually.
Mm-hmm.
And are there any particular teams that you don't want to face off earlier in the season? Who do you not want to play in the beginning, particularly push off towards the end?
Well, here's the thing about this particular tournament, your conference tournament, is that kind of back to the national poll real quick. If I'd like to go back to that, and then I'll answer your question. The important ranking right now is your region rankings, and that's a more it's not as subjective as the national poll. There's a set list of criteria. Like there's 6 different categories that you're judged on compared to the rest of the teams in your region. So that's what's important right now. And we're ranked number 1 in the region right now, but we have a real slim lead on USC Aiken because we have 2 region losses and they have just 3. So and then Lander's behind them, and then there's some teams from the SAC. So So that's what's important, because your goal is to be one of the 8 teams that's in your region tournament.
Right, and so that way you can host the tournament.
Well, if you're number 1 in your region rankings, then you host it, and that's real important too, and that's our goal. We've been to we've won 3 region tournaments, and 2 of those were at home. And I really feel you have an advantage if you're at home. I mean, it's your home court. It's where you're comfortable playing. And so that's our goal. So, going to our conference tournament, because, we hold, a real tenuous lead in that region ranking, it's very important that we do well in our conference tournament. If we were to go over there and falter early, then there's a good chance that we would not host. I mean, not that all would be lost, but it would just be tougher. It would be a tougher road for us. So, as far as who we don't want to play, the teams at the conference tournament that are not ranked in the region right now, those are the dangerous teams.
Right.
Okay, because they, every game is it's an elimination game, because they know if they don't win that game, their season is over. So those are the dangerous teams. So any team that isn't in line or have a good chance of getting an at-large bid to the region tournament. Of course, the winner of the tournament automatically goes to the regional.
Right.
So that's so our very first game is a team just like that, Augusta State. So, and they're playing very well right now. They're a much better team than the team that we saw in early January. So. We'll have our work cut out for us against a real motivated opponent.
And now, switching gears a little bit, you mentioned your 2 seniors earlier on. You have Tanisha and you have Brittany. What's it going to be like losing those 2? Tanisha was on the first team in all of her awards. Brittany was just named to the second team all-conference. What are you going to do without these key players on your team?
Retire.
You can't do that. We have to win more national titles.
No, and we'll have great kids coming back. Mimi Griggs and Kayla Mobley and Shay Jackson and Lexi, and then our kids that are new this year. Shan and Brandis and
pretty much your whole team.
Yeah, we just lose those 2. So I mean, there's a lot to be excited about for our future, but it is the end of an era. Losing those 2, to be successful at the Division II level, you have to have good transfer students. We have Division I transfers, junior college transfers. It's rare, at least for our program, to have players for 4 years. And
they've been here together for 4 years.
Yeah.
They came in together.
Yeah, they did, and that's rare. I mean, Shay Jackson is a freshman. It's rare to get a freshman that is the caliber of player that you need to be successful.
Right.
And here's why: because if they're good enough to help us win championships, they're good enough to play at Division I.
Exactly. So it's tough choosing.
Yeah, that's why the big NCAA slogan or
I chose Division II.
I chose Division II, because not many players do, but those 2 kids chose us.
Well, it's a good thing that they did.
Yeah, it's really good for us. So it's going to be a real difficult thing. Senior night the other night was really emotional. Those kids are like my own kids, and I just love them to death. But the good news is they'll always be a part of our family. And so as much as we'll miss them, they're not going away forever.
Well, thank you, Coach Cox. And they start their postseason tonight, against Augusta State. And that's all for us. I'm Jennifer Drosler with Laker Zone.